Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I did some stuff off camera. I'll show you that here in a moment, but welcome back to continuing the build progress on my competition E36. Yeah, let's just jump right into it. So I've made quite a bit of progress, and it may not look like much from the last video where we finished the tubular rear end. I had mentioned in that video prior, if you didn't watch it already, the tubular rear is basically as good as it's going to get for now until I can get a radiator. I finally have decided to stick with the stock fuel tank for now. I've done hours and hours and hours of research and talking with people, so I've made my mind up on that. So it is what it is, but when we need a fuel cell later on, if we need it for this chassis, we have the space for it. So that aside, yeah, progress made off camera has been all the little stuff to prep for the roll cage. So take a look inside. So as you can see, there's a whole lot of nothing going on in here. Pretty much everything is ready to come out. I do have to finish taking the shifter cables out because we'll be using a hydraulic handbrake system, a dual caliper, so this will no longer be necessary. But other than that, you can see all of the wiring is gone, which I will show you here in a moment. That was not fun, let me tell you. Everything behind the dash is gone. The dashboard's sitting on my cart over here. I will be reusing that, obviously, as well as the majority of the metal up here. Thankfully, the way these cars are designed, I don't really need to make a dash bar like I could. I might, but I don't really need it. So we'll see. I'll probably end up adding it just because I got to double check the Formula Drift rule book. But yeah, otherwise I'm still working on getting stuff out of here, but I'm more focusing in the moment on the small details, stuff that's going to either be harder to do after the cage is done or stuff that's just like outright in the way of doing my cage. Now, primarily that would be sound deadener. You can see I've already started taking up a bunch of this stuff. Also not fun. Tried the dry ice method. It works pretty decent, but I also am kind of impatient, so I don't think I've been letting it sit long enough to really harden, because some spots came up and it pulled the glue up with it, others not so much. So it is what it is. I'm gonna try, because dry ice, I didn't realize it's so expensive. It was $23 for a bag of it at Fry's. So today we're gonna try the heat gun method. I've got a little scraper, and you know, I think a few other guys I follow on social media have had pretty good luck with that. Regardless, I still have a lot of the glue residue to get up. So I have a wire wheel for my angle grinder, which I'm gonna be using anyway on a ton of the seam sealer, because there's seam sealer in certain spots where I need it to be able to weld for like my boxes for the cage, and then I also want to do some stitch welding in here. So little bits of details, but primarily let me show you what I'm looking at removing right now. So all the little things that you don't really pay much attention to until they're kind of in the way. So little tabs like this is where the rear seats clip into. You got little screws like this guy right here. That is for like the factory harness that runs through here. There's plastic covers, and that's where like the plastic screws hold it in. A bunch of stuff like that. There's not so much stuff up here. This is all going to get reused just because that's, you know, necessary. But yeah, basically just a lot of these little tabs like seatbelt pickup points, little hardware pickups, like that type of stuff I do not need any longer. So we're going to be cutting all that stuff out. Now, there's no right way to do this. Honestly, just kind of, I'm just chopping everything out because I know I will never ever have back seats in this chassis again. And for me, especially building a cage, I'm just kind of making my life a smidgen easier, so when I'm crawling around the car, I'm not kneeling on sharp objects or whatever. And it's just going to look that much cleaner when everything's done and painted. Other than that, yeah, there's not a whole lot to do in the sense of like craziness. We're just prepping and cleaning up. I'm going a little extra in this case because normally I could easily just work with this in the cage, clean up the weld areas that I need. But again, we're trying to do this right. Well, right. Again, there's no wrong way to do this, but the way I'm going about it is I'm just trying to clean everything up as much as I can, because not only is this my car that I'm going to start competing in, but I want it to be a testament to some of the work I can do. I'm trying to be a little bit more patient with it, and I know there's certain things I'm going to end up rushing regardless because I'm just an impatient person. But these are the small details where it's like I don't really have the money to buy a bunch of the parts that I need yet at the moment. Just paid bills. It's the start of the month, so you know, I'm trying to get all the little work that I can do, like the metal work. And again, before I trap myself in here with a cage and then go back later and be like, oh dang, I should have cut those out. I'm gonna do that right now. So without any further ado, let's just get into the grunt work. I'm gonna freaking fire up the heat gun and see if this works pretty well. Basically, you're just softening up the material. It loosens up the glue a little bit, and then you just scrape it up. So we'll see if that actually works for me. All right, so from what I've seen, there's not really anything to this. You know, you'd think for being as far along in this as I am, you know, in this game of life and building cars, I'd have done this more often, but honestly, I've only done this to my cars on the Integra, and that was in the middle of a Midwest winter, so I didn't even need ice or heat, because it was so cold it just came apart. So I guess the trick is to just heat up an area, soften the glue, and scrape it up. Oh yeah, look at that. I tell you, it's a good thing I chose a nice chilly day to do this. Spring showers, because this thing's already cooking me. This is actually working really well. Goodness. Yeah, this is working really good, so I'm gonna keep doing this. Like, that was so much faster, honestly, than the dry ice. So yeah, I mean, honestly, that's really not bad at all. Like, that's a little bit of sticky residue, but again, I'm gonna be wiping all this down anyway. So I don't know. Dry ice may be a little bit cleaner, but it's definitely slower. So it has been probably a week since I've picked up this camera, since we took the sound deadening and stuff out. I've been swamped here at the shop, thankfully. Just finished a whole rear mount turbo kit for this G35. Just did like some exhaust work on that Audi. Yeah, so now I'm gonna try and get a few more minutes in on this car today. We're just gonna keep moving along. I didn't have time to go get anything to try and clean up this sound deadening, so I'm just gonna give the wire wheel a shot, see where that gets me for the day. And then I'm just gonna start cleaning up a few of these brackets here in the engine bay. Like this one, for example, we're about to take this one out. That's just some spot welds. Yeah, just a little bit more prep. I know it's not the crazy exciting stuff that we'd all like to see, but it is stuff that has to get done nonetheless. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do, is I will pull some of these brackets, I'll cut the tubs here, and then depending on where that puts me for time, after I try cleaning up the inside, if the wire wheel doesn't work, then I will probably start building plates here, or maybe even try and start building plates for the boxes for the cage. But yeah, it's hot. Summer's here in Arizona now, so my shop is obviously quite the oven. Very unmotivating to come in here and work. I'm trying to stay motivated on this thing. It is a massive undertaking by myself on top of working on customer cars, so bear with me, I'm trying. If you guys haven't seen before, I don't use anything fancy. I do have a spot weld drill bit, but sometimes they work, sometimes they suck. So I found pretty good success using one of these finger files or band files, whatever you want to call these things. Tremendously awesome tool. So yeah, just grind it, chip it away, whatever, make it work. on my purple car, I just cut this to shape. I never even drilled this all out all properly like this. So, gosh, that opens up so much more room for the downpipe over here and cleans this all up. Just look at how much cleaner that is. Some guys also take this off. This is just a couple spot welds here, this lip. I'm gonna retain that because this is where the factory ECU goes and where I am most likely gonna leave my ECU. And the black cover that goes over here screws in with a couple of these screws, but it also clips onto here. So I'm gonna retain that. I will get rid of the seam sealer because I also have to plug up these couple holes here that somebody had freaking put self-tappers into. And then, what is it? I don't believe I'll be needing this tab, so I'm gonna take that one off. Not that you guys can see it because of the light. This tab, and then I don't think I need this one. I don't think I use this one for anything on my current car. One of these I have a bracket zip tied to, but I'll deal with that later because I'm gonna change a few things up on this car's setup. So yeah, we'll get rid of those. And then, yeah, cut these out. So with the engine bay done for now, I got as much seam sealer as I could. I moved the car over here so the dirt would blow out. Seam sealer is looking pretty decent. I got, I'd say 80% of it, but about all I wanted to get. I mostly just wanted my work area where I cut because I'm gonna put some stitches over there. So I've been working on cleaning up the interior. Yeah, I tried spraying some WD-40. It seemed to help get some of the sticky goo up. I'm gonna try and get something else in the next video to actually try to clean it up. But I've been going through and I've been getting rid of like all these extra brackets, drilling these things out and stuff. So all the extra stuff that I'm not gonna be using, like these are like the front lower seat, tab things. This is like the ABS module holder that was here in the center, stuff like that. We're basically just shaving all this, partially because, every ounce counts. And then also because I don't want to be crawling on all these little studs and stabbers while I'm trying to build a roll cage. And it just makes the interior look really clean. We're going to be painting in here, so I just want it to be pretty much smooth for the most part. Unfortunately, there's a couple holes I got to patch in. But, it's not the end of the world. We might even just seam seal over it. But, yeah, I'm working on getting seam seal out of these areas. Yeah, there's just a lot of cleaning. So I'm not really going to be filming most of this because you guys know what this looks like. It's going to be messy. I've already had to take 2 air baths with the air hose here. And yeah, I primarily, the focus right now is I kind of want to stitch weld the shock towers here. So I think I'm going to get the seam sealer off of here. And then I do need to build boxes off of the rear shock towers because normally on these cars I tend to put plates to go to the wheel arches here when I'm building the down bars. But in this case, because I have the rear structure tied into the rear shock towers, I think I want to tie in the cage to the rear shock towers as well, because I want, if I hit a wall, I don't want this whole rear end shifting on me. I'm going to try and basically beef up the shock towers as much as I can, and that's also a weak point on these chassis normally. So when we go to build all the boxes for everything, I will be boxing and plating the shock towers, but there's a ton of seam seal on there right now, so I'm going to go ahead and just start getting that stuff off. All right, I have taken enough of a seam sealer bath. I'm freaking over it. I'm tired, I'm hot. We're looking pretty good though. So this is all cleaned up. This is cleaned up. We do have a couple little holes. Some of these were here before. I don't know why. There was self-tappers in certain spots. These ones are cleaned up. I'm gonna fill those. I gotta fill that guy right there. Kind of a bummer. And then I think I got one right there. So yeah, we're looking pretty good engine bay wise. I'm not going to be like shaving the bay, like filling in all the holes or anything like that, just because it's not a show car. This is going to get used. So yeah, that's good. And then coming back here, I just spent 20 minutes vacuuming this out. So this is actually looking really nice back here. Yeah, that took forever, and I just took that's where I just took the biggest steam sealer bath. Freaking, it was beyond gross, and I don't even know how I'm gonna clean all of this. I'm doing it the messy way with the wire wheel on the angle grinder, so it is like spider webbing and flinging everywhere, but it is so much faster this way. I'm thinking I might just come in here and power wash everything out later at a different time, and that might be able to get everything. But yeah, I don't know, you can't really see because the lighting, but it's sprinkled everywhere. I did a pretty decent job of vacuuming it up, but it doesn't vacuum up very well or air hose out very well. You gotta like physically rub it because it's kind of sticky. But otherwise, whatever. We're making progress, guys. I'm stoked. Got a surprise in the next video for you guys. We have partnered up with somebody else on this build and for the drifting stuff. So I'm very excited. I'm very fortunate. I'm very thankful. So yeah, anyways, guys, thanks for spending some time out today here on the video with me though. I'm gonna just wrap it up here. Get something out, get some content out. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you can see a lot of the behind the scenes stuff on this at ChrisSadowski. And yeah, we have new shirts, so I'm not wearing one, I'm wearing an old Hasport shirt. But yeah, we have new shirts and they are not on the website, but I've been giving them out to people local, so come get some work done and you'll get a free shirt. Or you can come buy one at one of the drift events. We will be at Modded Culture's Mahon or Bahoku, whichever one is at the end of this month on May 30th. Come out, come catch a lap. And anyways, yeah, do what you love, forget about the rest. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.